there's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here, the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Tonight, it's that time. It's time to review Teen Titans Go to the Movies with our man Charlie Esser. Went for a booyah, but okay.
Booyah!
Or dark, depressed Lil Hellfire, because we made her.
Are you calling me Raven? Oh wait, Raven from the actual Teen Titans. Never mind.
Exactly. And I do not have baby hands. All right, everyone, strap in because Capes and Lunatics, go!
Oh.
What?
When there's trouble, you know who to call.
I thought you were gonna have the theme music.
Capes and Lunatics.
Yes. Yay! It was a movie show. Well, it was a television show made into a movie. Yay! Just like Rick and Morty will one day be. 6 seasons in a movie.
But if what's his name keeps getting into trouble.
I know, Dan Harmon.
Oh, what'd he do now?
Wasn't there a video of him molesting a baby doll or something?
Well, there was a sketch of him molesting a baby doll, but that's something very different.
A sketch.
Okay, look, you know what? I'm just saying, you can't put an actual performance into the same category as a tweet as myself. So when you make a tweet as yourself, it's something very different than when you're doing any kind of performance art piece.
Captain James got fired!
Well, that's because James Gunn is, texting about this from his own perspective. So he says, hey, I'm James Gunn, and I am making untoward comments about underage sexual relationships.
No.
And, that kind of stuff comes back to you, especially if there is reason that people feel there's reason, I mean, like I said, I don't buy that, he got fired for some innocent tweets and some left-handed comments. Like I said, I think it all happened way too fast and way too furious. I mean, even only Batista's still defending him, but he's taken a couple of blows to the head over the years. So he just made me fiercely loyal. He's a professional wrestler.
So
you get a lot of blows to the head.
But
let's talk about Teen Titans, please.
Okay,
Teen Titans go to movies.
Yeah, let's get to the kids movie we all saw.
Lilith is all excited. Yeah, enough with your tweets.
Nobody told me it was gonna. I had an inkling that it was gonna be musically infused, and I hate musicals. There's only 3 musicals that I like: Annie, La Boheme. Well, no, 4. Rent, which basically the same thing, and Wicked. So
La Boheme
maybe Lion King, maybe.
La Boheme is an opera, not a musical.
I don't know.
Damn difference.
I mean, music.
No, actually, there is a difference. There is no spoken word in an opera. It's all dialogue is set to music and song, whereas musicals have straight dialogue breaks.
Don't die on this hill, Lilith.
I know.
But no, I mean, music plays a big part in Teen Titans Go from time to time. The night begins to shine.
Yeah, 4 damn episodes of that.
Yeah.
2 hours.
I was a little disappointed that they actually didn't have The Night Began to Shine show up in this.
Is that somebody's been behind the scenes? We'll talk about that at another time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
surprised that it was Robin and not Beast Boy or Cyborg, that it was their driving force of them wanting to be recognized. That's my biggest thing.
Well, no.
From what I've seen of the Teen Titans show, all 11 episodes, it just seemed a little out of character for me.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. First off, you have to remember that Robin. First off, he comes from a showbiz background. He's a circus boy. He is always.
These folk are quite different than actual
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And he's also someone who
he's very different.
He's also someone who has lived his whole life in the shadow of someone else. Whereas Raven, Beast Boy. I mean, Beast Boy maybe a little bit with the Doom Patrol. But really, Cyborg and Raven, they were never anyone's sidekick. They were never the junior member of their teams. So it makes sense to me that wanting to be accepted and seen as a full-fledged hero would be important to Robin.
But
and
in the TV show itself, though, it's been more Cyborg like wanting to be that guy. That's all that I was saying from what I've seen.
A real boy.
Well, yeah. Well, but they didn't stop being dudes throughout it. You know, I mean, Cyborg and Beast Boy continued their dudification throughout it, but dudification doesn't necessarily mean they want to be celebrity dudes. And again, for Robin, it's less about even being a celebrity as being recognized as a real bona fide superhero.
I'm sure it was wishful thinking on my part, but I was waiting for the movie to end with him becoming Nightwing.
No, that's the wrong Nightwing. It doesn't have a ponytail. That much I do know.
It's got the mullet.
No, he does
The
become
ponytail's so
Nightwing
much
in that
worse than the
universe,
mullet, though.
because we do see that when he marries Batgirl.
Yeah.
I saw that episode.
Yes, so he does become Nightwing eventually, but it may not be time yet for him. He's still a Teen Titan.
I don't want to skip ahead to the end, but it was like, kids, ask your parents where babies come from.
Yes. Well, you you want to have that open dialogue with your children.
The only thing that I could think of when I saw this movie is, have you guys both seen the Simpsons movie at the beginning where they're sitting at the Itchy and Scratchy movie and they say, and you're a sucker for paying for this? Like every time like an animated show goes to the movies, like that's just kind of stuck in my head.
Yeah, well, you know, what else? There was actually even more to the Itchy and Scratchy, because the original first appearance of the Itchy and Scratchy movie was in Bart Becomes a Supreme Court Justice episode of The Simpsons, which was, I think, it's in the first 5 seasons. Anyway, and they make the point in that you know, the Itchy and Scratchy film will have 40% original content. This, however, was all original content. I don't think there was any retread material here.
Hey,
even reintroducing Slade, who has already been established in the Teen Titans Go universe.
You mean Slade?
Yes. Oh, and
I like the Slade version from original Teen Titans way more than how he's appeared in, or like mysterious figure, whatever.
You mean Deadpool?
Yeah. That they do.
Say something inappropriate to the camera.
You know what? My biggest pet peeve about the film is at no time does anyone tell Slade, you know, you sound a lot like Lego Batman.
Yeah, you know what? Who was it? I think it was either Gizmodo or IO9 who said basically this was a PG animated Deadpool because there were so many fourth wall breaks.
Yes, well, of course.
That pretty much
well, but of course, Teen Titans Go exists in a fourth wall broken universe. You know, I mean, and you see this even with all of our characters being very cognizant of the lack of walls in their universe. You know, including Nicolas Cage Superman.
I was gonna say Nicolas Cage Superman. I was waiting for that joke with them. They're like, "Oh, Superman, did you get your own movie?" And I was waiting for him to say, "Yeah, it's about time."
Yeah. Well, you know what I thought was fascinating.
The hell out of the DCEU though. That was my all the little parts for that. I was like, okay.
Yes, we don't talk about the Green Lantern film. And actually, you know, that was one of the things I thought was very fascinating. That their Green Lantern. Well, this one because so when they do like their DC animated, like, you know, here's all the heroes.
Oh yeah, the animated DC. Yeah,
they do the Hal Jordan Green Lantern, who is not in either the short or the movie.
They do like a more not live action, but like a more CGI one in front of the live action DCU, and Hal Jordan hasn't been introduced really there yet.
Yes, no, but I just thought it was interesting that they were going to introduce the Lantern here and make it Hal Jordan, when Hal Jordan isn't the Green Lantern in this universe. And actually, speaking of the original,
always Hal.
I'm sorry, what?
It's always Hal. That's my gripe.
Yes,
Still
but the short, the Superhero Girls short. What do you think? I know you're a fan of the Superhero Girls, Lilith. Did that live up to what you expect from the DC Superhero Girls? Is that their proper characterization?
It felt very corporate and like they were forced to do it. It didn't feel like a labor of love like all their other stuff. I'll just say that.
Okay.
But it was okay.
So is Batgirl always like Pinkie Pie?
Well, kind of, sort of, but not really.
Yeah.
She has
Well,
her
actually,
moments, but most of the
yeah.
time she's kind of tough as nails, honestly.
So she's more because it is produced by Miss Faust. So I like to put it in the original. Well, not the original My Little Ponies, but the Friendship is Magic universe kind of character archetype.
No.
And did I see Tara Strong was doing a voice in there too? So she was like basically getting paid twice today.
Tara Strong does a voice in everything.
I know.
Yeah.
That's literally I think she is literally the hardest working like voice actress in show business right now. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think anyone is going to disagree with that. She is one of the most respected actresses in voice, and she is a modern day Mel Blanc.
Yes, I will agree with you on that.
She is, and she does have variation in her voices. She's not just like Howie Mandel, who just does one voice and gets 3 different jobs.
World.
Bobby's World, Skeeter. It was his little blue thing. It was actually just a voice from his little fuzzy blue thing sketch. And then someone said, "Can you do a voice?" He says, "I can do this one voice I have for the little fuzzy blue thing sketch." And I said, "Great, do that one." And he did that. And I forget who the third voice is, but I remember him doing a whole bit. It's like I did that. I did Skeeter. I did Bobby. And I did this other thing. It's all the same voice, and I got paid for all of them. So.
It's like the guy who does Archer, John, whatever his name is. It's the same voice.
Although
Bob's Burger and Archer and Family Guy.
Although with him, it actually is his voice. So that's a slightly different thing. Whereas some people they do a voice, but they just have that one voice they do. But Tara Strong is absolutely the Mel Blanc, our modern day Mel Blanc, and I'm very appreciative to grow up in the era with Tara Strong as a voice actress. I think that is one of the shining stars in modern animation.
I think Phil, what he's trying to say is Gelman. Can you get us Tara Strong?
Hey, we'll tell her how great she is. I don't know. Is anyone following her on Twitter? I don't know.
I've checked. I threw out an invitation to all 5 of them, and didn't hear nothing. So.
Okay, well,
What is his name? Carrie with the KH or whatever.
Oh, Kari Payton. Yeah. Oh, he's everywhere. I mean, I think he does.
He does always
Well, like even like the Lego stuff, he basically does the voice of Cyborg and like any like animated thing they have. It seems like, and then he's on Walking Dead now. He's everywhere.
Yeah,
I always see him in interviews. This is the one person I always see in interviews. I was like, really? He's
also Aqualad.
Little School newspaper. I think I saw him in one time.
Yeah, he's another one getting paid.
Back to this. I don't have an affinity for the actual animation style. Like it's very hard for me. Like if I want to watch actual anime, like I'll watch actual anime kind of thing. Like I just don't did chibi artwork. Like that's never been my thing. So
every generation has to have their own artwork style. It's like you go to the 1920s cartoon style, and it's all the floppy arms, and then in Hanna-Barbera, it's all that minimalist movement, and that was across the board, not just Hanna-Barbera. Everybody did that style because that was the style of the day.
Yeah, it's like the TV Universe style right now is all the rage.
Yeah, and that's what we're moving towards, and it's fine. Everybody needs to define what cartoons look like for their generation.
But come on, Lilith. Did you ever think we'd get to the point where we'd see Challengers of the Unknown and Rainbow Raider?
Yes. I mean, no offense, they do kind of scrape the barrel when it comes to Teen Titans. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way, because Arrow scrapes the barrel too. We all know this. And I do like to see the different iterations and takes, but if anybody was going to do that, it definitely would have been Teen Titans Go. So it didn't surprise me. It just...
And lots of
didn't we get Rainbow Raider in Flash?
Oh, yeah. What was that, like first season? Yeah.
Yeah.
They did get
Although it was a really messed up.
Well, he could basically
It was more like basically Rainbow Lantern, honestly.
Yeah, it was
Basically
basically it was like more like mind control, making people like angry or
Oh,
basically controlling their emotions and stuff.
using
wasn't
the
like
color spectrum of the lantern rings.
he wasn't like riding a rainbow.
Yes. And hey, did you notice when they did the Jello molds, they had the red lantern and the blue lantern and the green lantern Jello modes? I appreciated that. I appreciate a lot of the Easter eggs throughout this. There's a lot of great Easter eggs in this.
Oh,
movie.
Yeah.
You mean the shenanigans?
Yes.
Shenanigans.
Oh
I love the whole.
So did you see it with your kids, Charlie, or did you see it by yourself?
no, I saw it with the kids. I had to go
react to it. Do they watch the show?
Of course, they watch the show. They love the show as much as I do.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if you just like made them watch it with you, or
no, they were very excited for it. They know all the jokes. They know Baby Hands. That's their favorite, And I love that Baby Hands is what saves the day at the end.
Oh yeah.
I have baby hands, and they can't be held by adult manacles.
But I mean, yeah, Luca loved this movie. A lot of times we go to the movies, he goes, "Oh, that was too long."
Sweet.
Well, sometimes, but most of the time he's like, "Oh, that movie was too long today." I was like, "Did you like that?"
Like what, an hour?
An hour and a half. Yeah, I said,
it's just a 90-minute film.
Yeah, today I was like, "Do you like it?" He goes, "It was too short." I said, "Did you want more?" He goes, "Yeah."
Well, yeah. Well, gotta get ready for
4 seasons of Teen Titans Go.
They have to do Teen Titans Go to the theater next.
So you know it's gonna be a part 2.
Yeah,
You might check the box office on it.
Not yet. Where's that? Well,
It opened like I was gonna go see it Thursday, but I ended up seeing it today.
Yeah, I saw it today. But yeah, I mean, I think they even called it out and said you were supposed to. Like, oh, they even said it was obvious. But did everyone get Jade Wilson?
Actually, you know what? I was really surprised that Jade Wilson wasn't actually Wade Wilson's daughter.
Slade Wilson's daughter. Yeah, but
Slade Wilson's daughter. Yeah, I was actually.
But they have his daughter in the show already.
Yes, I know they've had his daughter in the show already, but I don't know the entire.
There's other kids technically too, so it's
I mean, Slade Wilson gets. I keep calling Wade. Slade Wilson gets around. I'm not going to be surprised if he has an extra daughter there. And the minute they said Slade Wilson, I was expecting that, and then the whole no, he's wearing the mask underneath that mask, and yes, it's really sweaty, rash and everything. See, and even Lilith is laughing, remembering these jokes, because these were funny jokes. These are solid bathroom humor jokes.
I mean, that's Phil's bread and butter. I mean, we do run a Deadpool podcast, so it's our bread and butter.
and for the record, the whole pooping in the Pratt toilet is hilarious because they can't poop in the toilet on the TV show. And that's what that whole thing is a reference to, because in the TV show, they can't use the toilet because they have a bathroom, because they show Superfan Wally the bathroom. But what they do with the bathroom is not made clear, and the toilet paper is
He's
to make.
going to use the bathroom in the invisible jet, though.
Yeah, remember when they went to Apocalypse? Yeah.
Oh, it's on Apocalypse. What happens on Apocalypse stays on Apocalypse. It's no big deal.
He was in the bathroom. I don't know what he did in the bathroom, but this one they were very explicit.
So I'm assuming it's a poop.
There was a big cloud. Hey, he said he said, "Mama, you're out of invisible toilet paper."
Yes.
Yeah.
But he might have been wanting to make himself into an invisible mummy.
Come on, Lilith. That was a good episode. Come on, Weird Al as Darkseid. Come on.
The lozenge bit was funny. I'll give you that.
Cyborg using the Green Lantern ring to create the Golden Girls.
Yes.
They are the prototypical best design for a raiding party in Dungeons and Dragons. We're all familiar with that.
Okay, Friday box office, they were up to like 4.3 million as of yesterday. So I don't know what. I haven't seen anything for updated since then.
Okay, is that good? I don't know.
I don't think so. What was their budget?
Box of Twizzlers.
No.
It's animation. That's what they pay those guys in.
I mean, they're already doing the show. So basically, what more did they have to spend to get you know, Kristen Bell, Nicolas Cage, although you could probably get Nicolas Cage for a carton of Newports on it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They probably offered to buy some of his terrible wine.
You know what? Although, you know,
he's been bankrupt. I don't know if they took the vineyard back or not.
You know, every so often, especially when you get these like small cameo roles, like your Stan Lee roles, you know, I don't know how much they really had to pay them because a lot of people, they just want to come and have fun with the show. You know, because it's not a big take out of their day. It's all voiceover work, which means they can literally phone it in.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's definitely a different definitely a different dynamic. Your big money is what you're going to pay the animators, and they never pay the animators anyway. You know,
there'll be an episode about that. They didn't pay us for the movie.
You know, I'm sure they will. You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I hope it made good bank. I hope it was #1 at the box office. It's a good film. You know, it's a great film to take the kids to.
Let's see.
I mean, Uncle Drew, which was terrible. Don't waste your money.
Oh, is that still out there? That's a thing that they actually released that?
Yeah, I was shocked and surprised too.
Oh, is this the first Mission Impossible Fallout? Is that the first week for that?
Oh,
it's the Tom Cruise movie. I really don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
try not to.
So that might be #1.
Maybe.
Poor Big Rains. I'm
but you know what?
sorry.
You know, he got arrested for going into his own house the other day, or didn't get arrested.
It doesn't surprise.
Yeah, his neighbor called the cops because a black man was going into Ving Rhames' house, and
I guess they didn't know who Ving Rhames was.
Well, but not for nothing.
Oh, Delway, get him!
Ah, poor Ving Rhames. Yeah.
The place we live in.
Yes.
But I mean, Lilith, we got a Stan Lee cameo in a DC movie.
I mean, it was bound to happen, and I'm glad it was this one.
just for that, it deserves to beat Justice League at the box office. Come on.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, how we can base an amalgam universe within the Teen Titans Go movie universe. There we go.
Yes. Well, you know, I would so like to see what was it, Dark Claw make an appearance. That would be great.
That'd be funny.
Dark Claw and Sparrow.
They're too busy making.
What was the Storm Wonder Woman one?
I want to say
it was Wondra or something like that.
I think it was called Amazon. I think there was a character named Amazon. I think her name was Amazon, and that was she was Storm and Wonder Woman, if I recall correctly. There was actually a couple different because there was also Bullets and Bracelets, which was Donna Troy, it was like Donna Troy and like Steve Castle, who was like the Steve Trevor, Frank Castle amalgam.
Nothing will be weirder than Ghost Rider and Flash, Speed Demon.
Yes. No, Deadbug would.
I paid
or
for
Lobo
a
the
Deadbug movie.
Lobo the Duck was certainly an interesting take too.
They were too busy making Alfred movies and Batmobile movies.
Yes, and for what it's worth, it was all part of the plan.
Oh yes, to keep all the superheroes busy by making them movies.
Well, but also, you know, what's actually is funny is I actually thought their original plan was just to convince the Teen Titans to go back in time and eliminate the superhero.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I thought at first. Yeah.
But then they just went back and fixed it all, and they had to be totally even after they save everyone. After they flashpoint everything, then they had to go and re-flashpoint it and just delight.
It's just the cyborg thing. Oh, it's two-parter all over again at that point,
Charlie, I was thinking of you when they went to redo Batman's origin. They're like, don't go down that crime alley. Here, come down. What was it, like Happy Way or whatever it was?
Yeah, well, really.
I can learn some real pearls. Don't get the cheap ones.
I love that. Actually, I love that she's not wearing the pearls until Raven puts them on. You know, Raven puts the pearls on Martha, which just goes to show you that it was always meant to be.
Visuals are very important for memory, you know.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Martha. Why did we got that joke? Why did you say that name? What's your mommy's name? Martha. Me too.
What's your dad's name?
Jonathan.
No one cares.
Why does Thomas?
Yes. And now we fight. And, you know, there's actually a deeper aspect of this, which is that for all the complaints about the Teen Titans not being serious heroes, you have all the real superheroes becoming totally wrapped up in that Hollywood imagery as well. And, you know, really being exploited and made a fool of by Wade Wilson / Jade Wilson in these movies.
He's calling him Deadpool.
Slade, they
See?
did too. So
See? I was gonna say the Titans got you, man.
they got to, well, you know, he's a better character.
Deathstroke the Terminator. No, he's not really, but whatever.
Yes. And actually, you know, Tristan asked why they don't call him Deathstroke. I had to explain to him that they don't call him Deathstroke because in the original cartoon they couldn't get the rights to call him Deathstroke. They had, for whatever reason, or they couldn't use the word death in their name, so they had to call him Slade as opposed to Deathstroke, and so that's why he's called Slade Wilson and Slade, not Deathstroke.
And Slade is better to say Slade.
Yeah, I mean Deathstroke. I mean it sounds like, you know, like something you do in a freestyle medley.
Sounds like something they give you
The
heart pills
Deathstroke.
for.
There's lots of ways you could do it. None of ours was dirty though, so good for us. Good for us.
That's because I bit my tongue, like,
Yeah.
literally, if you didn't
That's-
notice.
That's because it's a PG movie. Come on.
Exactly. It wasn't PG-13, it was PG. So I'm keeping all the Wade's World back here in my head.
Yes.
But do you think it was it just a coincidence, or were they poking fun at that supposed Alfred show that's in the works by doing
No, they
Alfred
were
the
totally
movie?
poking fun at that.
Yeah. Although again,
It's
I want,
ridiculous.
I don't know. Well, first
I
off,
don't know who that's for.
Alfred has had a very full life before he met Batman.
He had like 3 full lives, okay?
Well, yes, thank you, retcons and reboots.
But I mean, it's just like in this movie. I mean, what, Alfred's gonna get a TV show before Nightwing gets a movie or TV show? Come on.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Well-
at least
Well, technically,
he's got
Robin's getting
Titans.
his first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually, you know
isn't
what?
that the whole point? Like, he's gonna go beat Nightwing, and then they're gonna bring in another Robin. I'm assuming.
I would assume.
You know what? They could actually fix the entire Alfred timeline conundrum, like by just actually going with the
There's
original
3
story.
Alfreds.
Well, yeah. Well, no, that Alfred's father was the guy who raised Bruce Wayne.
He
And
could
then
be-
when he passes on, he asks his son, the actor and former MI6 guy, to come and be a gentleman's gentleman and take care of Batman, knowing
works.
that because he was an actor and a gentleman's gentleman and MI6 guy, MI13, MI2 kind of guy, he would actually have some skills that would be useful in Batman's quest for vengeance. You see, you could fix these things, DC, if you just sat down and talked about it for 5 minutes.
his dad could
No
be.
one actually really cares that much about Alfred, though. They just want him to be there and be Batman's emotional crutch.
That's not what DC wants you to believe with TV shows and stuff. But his dad could be the short, little, chubby guy, and he could be the tall, thinner guy.
Well, you can bring the chubby guy in, and then he loses the weight, you know, because he put on weight when he became an actor. Because like a lot of guys that exercised a lot and were these MI6 behind the scenes killing people, assassin guys. Once they don't have to do that every day, sometimes they let their middle-aged spread
Yeah,
go.
look at Leonardo DiCaprio.
There you go. And then, well, hey, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was governor. And he didn't have time to work out every day. And he immediately goes, "Phew, I will be nerdy. I will be flabby. That is fine. I have work to do. I am a governor." And then, but now that he's back trying to act, now he's like, "Hey, I'm all svelte again. Look at me."
Well, not so, but he looks better than what he did when he was
Well, he's like,
governor.
he's like what, like
He's like
70?
90.
I was gonna say, yeah,
He's
like
123.
Yeah.
I know. It's okay. The guy has worked out a lot in his life, No steroids keep you young, Just ask Steve Rogers.
steroids in your maid.
Oh, don't believe it, kids. Unless it's in your inhaler, even then, sparingly.
I don't know. I don't know how many studies have really been done on the effects of super soldier serums on people. Which is essentially what steroids are. It's a method of increasing your physicality. Now, of course, anything that increases your testosterone is also going to increase your susceptibility to illness and disease because white blood cells apparently do not work well with testosterone. Which is why women live longer.
If you're willing to shrink your package, go for it.
I was wondering who's gonna race to say that first.
It just atrophies your testicles, and that was only with the older style injectables. Most steroids now are not necessarily injectables and don't have that side effect, from what I've heard.
So just
they didn't want you to know that.
so not the twig, just the berries, Lilith.
Well, are you using them? I mean, unless you're trying to have a kid, really, they're kind of just a hand grenade that you got around your junk, Just waiting to go off.
I'm using that. Totally.
I'm just saying. Well, I still
Lilith
Peter Quill,
literally use the hand grenade around junk. Jeez.
Anyway.
Anywho's, so this movie,
I love the scene. I love the chase scene, like when all the other heroes are mind controlled, and they keep trying to blow up Batman, and then the Batmobile, becomes the pod and everything, until eventually he's just like on Alfred's back and stuff. And Starfire's like, "There's no stopping the Batman."
Yeah. Although I gotta say, I love the fact they come in referencing. Well, I can create portals that teleport everything everywhere. And it's like, oh yeah, I keep on forgetting you can do that.
How do we do that? How do we sneak in there? Portal. Oh yeah.
And you know what that's a reference to?
Hmm.
That's a big slight at Infinity War, and the fact that Doctor Strange can do that and doesn't do that enough. Because really, why didn't Doctor Strange just, when he said, I need to go back to Earth, why didn't, and Tony Stark says, no, we have to do this, and Doctor Strange says, no. I mean,
Azarath, Metreon,
Zinthos, exactly. By the way, I love the rap.
Yes.
I love the rap. The rap was fantastic. And I love how they bookend their two battles with that rap.
The beginning and the end, yeah.
Yes, and when in the first time where they're making it as a very silly rap, and then they actually really, do their training montage and actually use that rap. And I like when Beast Boy becomes a kitty, hear my meow. Roar, and he's a saber tiger. That's great, man.
That's gonna be a drop.
What, meow?
Meow, man.
Why? We never
meow.
We never take drops of Charlie Esser and make them sound bites.
I don't know. I hope you do. I
don't know the hip language the kids use these days.
I do, in fact.
Where's the Smoke the Doobie one?
I already did. You didn't hear it?
Smoke the doobie.
There we go.
I have no idea what the context of what that statement was, but I'm sure I meant it, and it was.
Yeah.
You were talking about Johnny Storm smoking a doobie, remember?
Oh well, yeah, I'm sure he does.
Smoke the doobie.
Yes, he keeps on burning himself now though because he doesn't have his powers. Although it's weird because does that mean that Sue and Reed don't have superpowers now?
I don't know. Well, I guess
I don't know if they really wrote this. I don't think if they thought this thing through when they were writing it. As usual, I don't know.
We gonna find out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what brings them back, Charlie. Maybe they're like, as they start losing their powers, they're like, uh-oh, maybe Ben and Johnny are in trouble.
Yeah, well, maybe. That
I guess
could
we'll
work.
find out.
As long as they don't get stuck in the dark dimension like those poor challengers of the unknown.
Finally, challengers! Oh.
Yes.
Whoa.
And,
were the challengers
Swedish?
Were the challengers Swedish? Or something?
No,
like
that was the professor, and they gave him a British accent to show he was smart. You only have so many
short
as you do. Exactly. All smart people start speaking with an accent.
Just ask Stewie Griffin.
Yes. Or as Michael Ian Black would say, a lot of you think I have an accent. No, this is just what English sounds like when it's pronounced properly. Michael Ian Black is a very funny comedian.
Well, I don't know. The challengers might have had a better fate than the Atom.
Yeah. Oh, the Atom. Well, the Atom did not fare well. Although, for what it's worth, hey, he came back from a lot of stuff. You know, he got squished repeatedly. But you can't squish the Atom.
And the character that probably had the funnest cameo was Plastic Man. Supergirl, who are you wearing?
That was like a weird thing. And they even put that in the trailer, man. I was like, whoa, okay.
It's not just for kids. That's what that was about.
I don't know. I just want to know if that's going to be canon now. Are those two dating?
That was actually in.
I better watch his back.
That was actually in the comics because like he basically made himself a dress in an issue of JLA, and like Big Barda put him on, and then she almost killed him.
Okay. Well, yeah, but that would have been against Big Barda's knowledge, you see.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
at least Supergirl knew.
Dress, you put me on, and I said, haha, now I'm your dress. And okay, this is like
Charlie
stuff.
What he
He's
could.
kind of a jerk, though. He is.
That is true, but you know, it gets to the point of sexual assault. So,
At least
but
Supergirl
since
knew.
she knew it was obviously a consensual relationship. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, they were both into this.
Supergirl was just being cheap, yeah.
This fun little game. Well, you know, who even knows if Kryptonians wear clothes? I mean, obviously, we know they wear clothes, but
I want Charlie Usher's version of Krypton.
no. Well, the
I
Coriander.
have a very distinct idea of Krypton and what really led to the destruction of that planet.
Yeah, it was the music. They couldn't play the beats, man.
Yeah, they didn't have their sick beats.
Was that supposed to
like
be? Was that supposed to be Marlon Brando as Jor-El?
Yeah, that was supposed to be Marlon
Yeah.
Brando's voice. It was the guy doing Marlon Brando's voice. Yes.
Stuff the cotton in your mouth, and then you know.
You know. I wonder if that was March, because they always give him to do Orson Welles all the time. And Marlon Brando, Orson Welles to Marlon Brando, that's not a big jump, and you know, I could totally see them doing that. So, yeah, so that was good. But yes, Jor-El was great, and that, and little baby Superman doing his butt dance. That's
I mean, it kept it consistent. It was as weird as the TV show is. So, you know.
Exactly. It was perfect. It was tonally perfect for the Teen Titans Go series.
It was just a 90-minute episode, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like,
good. I can't wait till
Which is more cameos, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait till it winds up on Cartoon Network or Cartoon Network. Yeah, Cartoon Network. Yeah.
Mm.
It'll be part of one of their 2-day marathons they're always doing.
Well, of course, you're gonna do The Night Begins to Shine, and then what are the other ones?
And then Girls' Night, all 3 parts of that.
Oh, I love Girls' Night Out. Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, they've been my favorite episodes that I've seen.
Yes. And yeah, I mean, you know, they'll have all this stuff together, and then you'll end it off with the Teen Titans Go movie marathon.
Oh, Lilith, did you watch that Scooby-Doo episode?
I did.
With LeBron?
Yeah.
Dribble.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. It'd mean when the Teen Titans were being the Scooby Gang.
Yes.
Okay. Because they're like, wait, the Teen Titans did a crossover with Scooby-Doo?
No, it's just with
Because they do that in the comics. They do that in the comics. And I could totally see a Teen Titans Go Scooby-Doo crossover in the comics.
No, they did crossover with Powerpuff Girls, though.
Yes, they did crossover with Power. That would be one of the other movies they do. Yes.
Well,
that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one where they discussed what is the difference, like superheroes who don't fight criminals.
They're babies.
To be fair, though, the Teen Titans do fight criminals. They fight criminals repeatedly throughout the series. But the plotline of Teen Titans Go is that this is what happens in the downtime between fighting criminals.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not really their downtime, honestly.
Well, there's a lot of downtime in superheroing, apparently.
I mean, what do you think the Watchtower is so decked out for? I'm just saying. Of course there is.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, you know, nobody wants to see the episode where, you know, it's just, you know, the Flash and Green Lantern playing checkers all day because, you know, we're on patrol, we're on watch duty, so you know.
But no, after
you know what, they did have a bottle episode like that. Now that I think about it, on Justice League somewhere.
Well,
why does the cartoon need a bottle episode? I will never know.
Oh, it's called a bottle show because it's a ship in a bottle.
Catch people.
Yes,
up.
I know, but I'm just saying, mostly in TV shows, though, the reason why you have a bottle episode is due to budget.
Oh, and so why? Well, because even in animation, you still have a budget. You have to draw extra sets.
And plus, it's a nice jumping on point for people too.
Yeah.
True.
They literally
And,
had a bottle episode on Teen Titans Go.
Yes. Exactly.
Is Teen Titans did it first, like the new Simpsons did it first, or something?
Oh.
But why
Anyway.
did I mean, it was a nice visual, but why did they need the bikes to go back in time? Why didn't Cyborg fly around the Earth again? You mean like Superman did that one time?
Well, and like they said, they had because they needed something that was visual.
Yes.
And they expressly called it out because Raven says, "Why don't we just use our old time machine?"
Yes.
Because they do have a time machine. They've used several time machines. They do a lot. They do as much time travel shenanigans in Teen Titans Go as the X-Men.
I thought you were going to say the Flash.
He doesn't watch
Oh,
that.
no.
You have to remember.
Well, you know what? The Flash doesn't do shenanigans. He just does screwing up
He makes
everybody
love
else.
to the timeline, okay?
Oh.
I don't think it's consensual, Lilith. You can't
It
call
is
it making
not
love if it's not
consensual,
consensual. Then it's not making love. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I can't say the word that I want to say.
I'm surprised that when they were going back and messing with everyone's origins, they didn't like mess with Flash's origin and be like, there, how do you like it?
Well, I thought it was weird that they went for Aquaman and not Green Lantern.
Yeah, Green Lantern.
But
Aquaman's got a movie coming out. Come on. We're all still standing across the line.
Hey, remember that Aquaman? No, remember how cool he is?
Yeah, the Trinity.
Well, like I said, Shazam is going to be better than Aquaman. I'm just bracing myself. So.
I don't think Shazam was even in this. I mean,
we'll see how good either of them are.
I don't think it
No,
did.
I already know how good Aquaman is, and it's not. Shazam is the next big hope. I don't know if you guys noticed this shift in like promotion. So.
Well, that's what we were talking about last night on Super Connectivity. Scroll down. Does it seem like they're trying to go the complete opposite direction because everything else has been so dark? So like, let's have a goofy movie about a kid who
supposed to be. It's literally big with a cape. It's wish fulfillment. Yeah. Shazam has been like up there with Superman for me. So it makes sense. Like, well, this is the criticism. So here's a movie that can go completely the opposite of what everybody's been saying.
Yes, but you don't turn away from the skid. You turn into the skid.
But Shazam doesn't make sense to be gritty unless it's the second one and he's dealing with Black Adam. His origin absolutely should be big with a cape.
But I don't know. Actually, my
Wonder Woman was light too, so you can't say that.
Wonder Woman was turning into the skid. Wonder Woman turned into the skid, and I thought they corrected a bit with Justice League. Not as much as they should have, but I think Zack Snyder was still officially in charge of Justice League, and that was the problem. And honestly, the biggest problem with Justice League is just story holes that you notice.
Well, and it was supposed to be longer.
If you have a big hole in the story, just fine. Just don't make me notice it in the middle of the show.
Well, it was supposed to be longer too, and they cut it down to 2 hours.
Well, yeah, and you know what? If you can't tell your story,
we'll never really know the whole story.
Yeah, but wasn't it supposed
to? There's no Zack Snyder cut. I'd be shocked if there is.
Wasn't it supposed to be a lot more like, Steppenwolf's working for Darkseid? This is all for Darkseid, and they kind of like cut most of that out.
But the fact of the matter is all of that is not necessary, especially if it doesn't actually further anything. So just having him say, Darkseid has sent me to do Darkseid's bidding so that Darkseid can be Darkseid and Darkseid. And if you do that for 2 hours, that really doesn't make it a better film.
No, but I think...
That's why I said it's no Snyder Cut, guys. Let it go. Let it go. It's a crap movie. Let it go.
In their naive way, they wanted to be Avengers 1 and then work their way up to their Thanos.
I guess so.
But now they're doing a new Gods movie. So who,
Yeah. Are they doing anything?
That's not going to come to fruition. Let's all be serious.
I don't know.
This is going to be the best movie DC has for the next 3 years.
What I'm going to tell you right now. This is what I'm going to tell you. Shazam actually gives you a new universal jumping on point. Because there's no reason. Because first off, Shazam is a whole other universe. It is the Fawcett-verse. And they could even build out superheroes from a Fawcett verse.
No.
No?
Just
Okay.
nope. Sorry, Charlie. Nope.
Well, I mean, I think their biggest problem was that they had
worshiping these heroes, and they would make all these references to everybody else, and now he gets to be in that league as well. And I think that so you get an outside perspective of all the dark and gritty. Yeah, you see the Batman stuff that he has. I don't know if you've seen the trailer fully, but
no. Okay. Well, I mean, I've seen it, but I don't look that detailed. And not for nothing, having a lot of Batman stuff in the room doesn't mean that Batman exists in that universe. Because a lot of kids have Batman stuff in the room, and there's no Batman in this universe, thankfully. But anyway,
so what else about this movie?
I wish they'd done more with Detective Chimp.
of course you would.
Oh, the Lilith. We were talking last night. He Justice League Dark might be making the poll list.
Yeah,
Really?
It's a great book. Really fantastic.
Okay.
Detective Chimp.
He says Constantine makes a cameo or a brief appearance in it.
Yep, there's Constantine.
But he's not part of it.
There's no reason I care about that particular Justice League Dark. So
I'm British and I smoke. And I will do nothing else this issue.
But then meanwhile, this week, we also got the last issue of Hellblazer. Well, this version.
good. And don't reboot it for another 3 years until you can get the right damn writer that understands.
We'll stick it.
And you just take it back.
Stick it back in Vertigo.
Yes.
Oh, getting
Vertigo,
back
come
to
get your guy.
getting back to Justice League Dark. Did you notice how many Swamp Thing references were in Teen Titans Go to the movies?
Yeah.
Swamp Thing was over there.
Well, that's
I'm
coming.
sorry, what?
DCU, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming to DC Universe. That there's like a series. So.
Oh, they're bringing back the old series? That's great.
Not the old series. They're doing a new one.
No, a new one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
Will it have
old one
Adrian
will be
Barbeau?
available though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see the old one every week on Heroes and Icons. So.
Maybe not so much anymore.
Oh,
enjoy while it lasts.
Well, as much as anyone could.
I like the old Swamp Thing shots. I mean, it doesn't hold up, but I don't like it.
You know what? I like the original 80s Swamp Thing movie a lot. That was a very pivotal film for me.
Why you do the second one though? I was confused about
Yeah,
that.
well, that's the thing. Well, you know what? It probably got the second one because the studio still owned the rights to Swamp Thing. Alan Moore made Swamp Thing like a really cool character. And someone said, hey, we have the rights to that. Let's go make one of those movies. Let's go make some money off of this new hip thing that all the kids, all these millennial kids are reading.
Sophisticated suspense.
Yes, so there you go. And that's why they even had a series,
Yeah.
But no, in this movie, when he started mentioning that, well, she at the time was mentioning about the Doomsday device. I'm like, oh no, is Doomsday gonna pop out?
No.
Never. We never talk about Doomsday anymore with reason.
Well,
Just a
Krypton does.
poorly named machine. I admit it. It is a poor acronym, especially if you're trying to hide your Doomsday device. They call it the Doomsday device.
It's ironically hip, man.
Yeah. By the way, I did not know Shazam had laser vision.
He has everything that Superman has, literally.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I don't know. I'd never seen him use laser vision in any of the iterations I've ever seen him in. That was the first time I ever saw Shazam actually use a laser vision.
But it's all magic.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Superman
I knew he
magic.
had lightning bolts. Which is something Superman does not have.
I said he has all the same. It doesn't mean he doesn't have more.
So,
Yes.
so how's he going to do this in this movie when he can't even say his own name without transforming?
He's gonna
Well,
get a
they're
grip
not
on it.
Shazam!
Well, they're not going to call him Shazam. They're going to call him they're going to call him the Red
Big
Blur.
red cheese.
The big red
Big
cheese,
red
yeah.
cheese.
They're going to call him the Blur. It's going to be a small little... Oh, by the way, did you catch the call out to Lilith's Smallville podcast in the film
Where?
when Superman says, "Somebody save me"?
Oh,
Ah!
Yeah, exactly. They're listening, Lilith. Nick Cage is listening. So
I wouldn't be surprised actually. It has
or
nothing to do with
maybe
this.
one of the writers on the show is listening.
Oh
But
my lord.
it was just such a very interesting take there. I think it was when just as the Teen Titans were doing all the shenanigans, and I
Too
believe
bad they couldn't get the Remy Zero
The
drop
song.
for it.
Yeah.
and then let's do a kryptonite party.
Well, I thought before that the crank call. Oh, this is Lois Lane.
You got to save me from Gene Hackman's real estate deal.
Yeah. I do not get any more.
It definitely had something for the adults.
Yeah.
I dig it,
No,
but
and this is the joy. And honestly, what I'm going to tell you is this is the joy of a show that is not afraid to break their own fourth wall. That's not afraid to be self-referential. And, you know, not for nothing, it's like when they had Batmite on the other Teen Titans show, you know? And they were willing to really play with their own universe, you know? And everyone always says, oh, Teen Titans Go, it's so different than the original Teen Titans. And I'm like, in many ways, not as much as you think. You know, in many ways, all of these qualities were there. They're just not doing the other more dramatic qualities in this series. You know, although then they do a Night Begins the Sun and they bring back all that drama. Or they do the emotional arc of Dick Grayson. And he has to come to terms with, you know, the importance of friendship over that friendship is in its own way, its own kind of magic.
Oh, Lilith.
every time somebody says My Little Pony, all I can think is BronyCon, and I just can't. I just can't.
Yeah, I don't know what these bronies things do. I don't know what those people are. I've become brony is one of those things that you just feel like I should not associate myself with whatever that is. I'm a guy who really enjoyed the Friendship is Magic series. I thought it was brilliant and funny and delightful and had a lot of great cartoon lessons for kids and adults as well. But whatever a brony is, I don't want to be that. I don't know what that is, but it's
good. It's a good idea.
It's like the people that are like complaining about She-Ra having a redesign. It's like, dude, this is a kid's cartoon.
Creep
These
alert.
aren't things you need to be worrying yourself with.
Creep alert.
What was the name of the
Probably
archer on
I don't
She-Ra?
enjoy it.
Lilith, what was the name of the archer on She-Ra? Their token man guy with the big heart on his chest.
I don't know. I'm
I was
more
gonna
of a
say-
He-Man person than I am She-Ra, to be honest.
I was gonna say, yeah, I watched both, but I was like 6, so
I am not a Princess of Power kind of girl. I am Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
I really resented She-Ra actually because they split the focus and it's what caused a whole big mess. So like She-Ra can just go sit down in the corner for me.
Okay. I enjoyed She-Ra. That's where we found out that He-Man's mother and She-Ra's mother is from Earth. And we found out that the actual Eternia storyline takes place sometime in a sci-fi Earth future, which makes its blending of sword and sorcery and hyper technology fascinating. Unlike a galaxy that far, far away that in our distant past had this techno sword and sorcery, this is a place where there is hyper technology, but also people still live, you know, mostly agrarian lifestyle. People are still fighting with swords. It is fascinating when you look at that evolution of a dynamic of a society.
You say so.
Well, you know, but it's like Wakanda. You know, one of the things that I find most fascinating about Wakanda is because all that tech in Wakanda, it is all probably made by local craftsmen. That probably there's like, you know, that there's people there that are like just vibranium smiths in Wakanda.
Hey, Charlie, was the name of the archer Bow?
Was it really?
B-O-W, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like both.
Can you do B-O-E? Really? That's like a little too on the nose. No wonder.
I just know he's got like the big heart on his chest, and he's like He's like the one
Is that the
dude. in
guy
all
with the
of
mustache?
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Lilith and his horse's name is Arrow.
Oh, and Arrow. There you go. That makes sense. Yep.
Why couldn't watch it?
That sounds
That's
like a
too
toy
much.
you can buy for your daughter.
Well, yeah. You know what? Those She-Ra toys were really hard to find too. Probably another reason why I didn't really dig it. He-Man toys all over the place. She-Ra
Yeah.
toys, not so much.
Well, you know, because they didn't know where do you put it in the girls' aisle or do you put it in the boys' aisle?
Well,
It's an
yeah, they
action
did
adventure
both.
toy.
If you watch that toy history thing, they talk about it, but I kind of vaguely remember that. I'm like, okay.
I was gonna say,
I
Lilith,
don't really need a pink sword. I'm good.
I was gonna say, where were you when I was watching He-Man and She-Ra, Lilith? But you weren't born yet.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet. I was in 90s kids watch 80s reruns.
She's waiting to be born. That's what women say to me when I ask them where they've been all my life, and I pick them up in bars. They say, "Waiting to be born."
We believe that, Charlie.
Okay.
Anyway, I will give this movie a B+.
Ooh,
That's good.
By the harshest critic of all. Nice.
The voice acting was great. I mean, the style didn't grate my nerves that much for 90 minutes. I loved all the cameos. I loved all the Easter eggs. So, you know.
Did any of the people involved in this movie contact me if you want that audio of the Lilith Hellfire giving it a B+.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, you know, this film as a Teen Titans Go film was fantastic. It was everything I wanted from a Teen Titans Go film. Like the only thing that really bugged me was not using Slade's actual daughter, but that's okay. We're gonna look over it. And the fact that they kind of like made this like Slade's first introduction, where he's already had an introduction into the
But it's
Teen
like
Titans
he's
universe.
like still mysterious, right? So this is like his full-fledged out in the open.
Yeah. But you know, but aside from that, but these are minor. Basically, to me, this was the best DC movie I've seen since Wonder Woman.
And it's gonna be the best one you see until we reboot the whole damn universe. So just hold on to it, cherish it, love it.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I'll give it a fillet. I'll give it a fillet. You know, I don't think. I mean, I might. It's like A, bordering on A- because of that whole Slade Wilson thing. And I really didn't feel the superhero girl short at the beginning. I really just felt that it was
forced.
Yeah, well, you know, it seemed like a very standardized kind of.
And you really didn't even get you really didn't get the fight. You just got her like waiting for her dad to fall asleep and then getting there.
Yeah, and there was not really. Yeah, I just didn't feel like there was a proper resolution to that storyline. Whereas I felt Teen Titans Go to the movie had a really fantastic resolution. Everything plays out. You know, just because you have a short film doesn't mean it has to lack depth and character development. You know, and I thought there was no
They
character.
just didn't do a standard DC short, actually. Since I mean, that's where Teen Titans Go actually got their reboot and everything like that. That's what really surprised me. That was just a proper DC AU short.
Yeah. Yeah,
but, I mean, I think I got to agree with Lilith's B+. It would have been an A for me. I was just waiting when he broke into Star Labs for like a Caitlin and Cisco cameo.
Oh, you know, you can't fault them for not having enough
comic book thing though either. So
yeah.
I would have been annoyed if I did see that.
You know, and not for nothing, had they been introduced in the Teen Titans Go universe, they actually have a lot of weird rules in Teen Titans Go where they don't like to introduce things that weren't already in the Teen Titans universe prior to the creation of Teen Titans Go. I don't think they are as, because I don't know if Detective Chimp had been in Teen Titans Go prior to that, and I know Zen and Janet certainly hadn't been. So they have broken that rule several times, but I think like putting Cisco in there in Star Labs would have been, and not for nothing, Star Labs is a very different thing in the DC universe than it is in the Flash TV show.
I mean, it didn't have to be spot on, but I was just waiting for those cameos. But and they still didn't give Batman a voice. Batman didn't. I was waiting for this to be the first time Batman talks. He didn't. Were they just kicking themselves? Oh man, we already made Will Arnett Deathstroke.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we gonna get for Batman?
Well, you know what? And I think maybe that's the point. And for what it's worth, you know, Batman's mysterious, and Commissioner Gordon doesn't talk either.
They just go.
Yeah.
It's because they're high on each other's love, Philip.
They got a bromance for the ages, you know.
They do.
Actually, no, we heard Batman talking this.
No, we didn't. What? Oh, wait. Oh, he grabbed. He was like, "What's that name?" Yeah.
Yeah. What? When he says, "What's your mother's name?"
Oh yeah, he went full bail. He was like, what's your mother's name?
In fact, was that Will Arnett doing the voice of Batman in that?
I don't know, because it was such a low growl. I don't know.
Yeah, could have been. We'll have to double check that on IMDb.
Could have been Christian Bale for all I know.
But there you go. Your entire complaint that they didn't let Batman talk is actually no. You're wrong. They did let Batman talk.
I know, but it should have some kind of like dialogue.
He wasn't very articulate. He wasn't.
Because Batman is not in the current DC universe. He's always talking like this. I'm Batman. I have a scary voice.
But I mean, I guess they were
Even
trying
make
to
the kid on Gotham do this voice when he wants to be scary. And sometimes they make Commissioner Gordon do the Batman voice. We all do the Batman voice because we're scary.
I can't believe they brought in Kristen Bell just to do the voice of Slade's disguise.
Kristen Bell does a lot. She actually does a lot of voiceover work, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. And she did
My
a great
favorite
job.
is Gossip Girl.
Oh man. I found it.
What?
Who did Batman's voice? You will never guess. I could give you all night. You will never guess who did Batman's voice.
Nicolas Cage.
No.
Burt Ward.
No, you will never guess. You will literally never guess.
Okay, then tell us then.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh!
Shut the front door.
That's what it
That
says.
makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, I can totally see that. And again, everybody wants to get on the. Everyone wants to play Everyone wants to play the game. Everyone wants to be a part of it. It's like it's a mad world. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of feel like you got left out if you didn't get invited to play in this movie. You know. But you know what I actually loved best that you mentioned Christian Bell is that going back and I think about her cadence as she's talking, she has the same kind of cadence in the way she's talking as the way that Will Arnett is playing Slade. That there is this like very nice, like this direct talk that it then undercuts itself after you say it. Like we absolutely won't work ever again in the future. You know, there's these little neat cues that they do that really shows either me over reading into it or perhaps actors really trying to think, okay, this character is this person. How would this person say this line? You know, if they were doing this person.
Forward to, so.
Yeah, but anyway, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I give it an A. I'd give it an A plus if it wasn't for that superhero girls thing. And not just because it was girls, but because I felt that they did not give enough arc to the characters.
How about you? Do you love when they were making the movie and like they're like, oh, they're Slade. They're like, no, it's not. I'm not Slade. It's me, Will. It's Shia LaBeouf, and they just keep punching.
Yes, well,
as you do.
As you do. Shia LaBeouf.
Oh man, there's a bunch.
Turned into a douchebag, so yeah, as you do.
There's a couple names here I didn't realize. Who did the voice of the Flash?
Oh, I did look that up, but who was that?
Will Wheaton.
Yes, Will Wheaton. I remember because I said that to Tristan at the end. I was reading the credits at the end. So, Will Wheaton played the Flash.
And I'm guessing
sure they didn't pass him over for Mark Hamill? You sure?
Nope.
Oh my.
And I know that Kal-El Cage played the voice of young Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
Which is Nicolas Cage's son, in case you guys actually don't know.
Yeah, well, it's like
he's obsessed with Superman. He really is. So.
Oh, clearly.
Like almost became.
Well, he's upset. Who, Nicolas Cage? Well, he's obsessed with comics in general. That's where he got the Cage name.
Yeah, although he doesn't say that now. Now it's because of John Cage.
I mean, if I was a Coppola, I'm just saying, I'd be a Coppola, damn it. Unless you're Sophia, no offense.
They may not. There might be copyrights on the Coppola name. They may not have wanted him to use Coppola,
or maybe just want to get there on his own.
Yeah, well, that too. Because look at poor Sophia Coppola. No one takes her seriously because she's like Tori Spelling.
Mm-hmm.
Although I recently
never had any aspirations to do anything but act at the same time.
Well, but I actually recently found out Tori Spelling was on Saved by the Bell.
Yes, Screech's girlfriend. Hello.
I know, but that wasn't even an Aaron Spelling production. You know,
But
she
they don't
actually.
know each other. Peter Engel, come on, he's a big mega producer.
No,
Aaron
and I know
Spelling-
that her and Tiffany Amber Thiessen were like good friends long before that. But it just struck me that that's interesting that here she is. She's an actress. Yes, she has the spelling name, but she went for a non-spelling production, got the part, played it very well. I actually think that I've always felt people give Tori Spelling too much flack to the fact that she worked on one of her dad's shows. That's just me.
That's all she did. Then the next show that he did, the next job that she had before she did reality TV was also his. I'm just saying.
Children, we're down to Tori Spelling.
Yes.
Yeah, I have things about that as a 90210 aficionado.
We know, Lilith. We know.
But I just show up and look pretty and spout big words, and then I'm done. I just show up.
You were trying to make fun of Charlie Esser there, and we turned that against you.
Okay.
That was supposed to be a Wade's World thing.
Hey, we can probably get Shia LaBeouf at this point. So.
Shia
LaBeouf. All right.
Shameless plugs, Philip. Come on.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. If you won't, everyone, what did you think of the Teen Titans Go movie? Anything we missed? What did you think of the comics this week? You can always check out Super Connectivity. Charlie and I discuss some comics. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter at Capes And the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And Lilith.
Charlie.
Okay. You can always write to me in an old-fashioned email way the way our Maz and Paz once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And that's on my phone, so I actually get a little notice right away when you write me saying, oh, hey, thanks for writing, dude. You're cool. And, of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet Cloak and Dagger Thursdays at 8, as well as other shows when they come on. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser. Look for the two E's in the middle for quality. Bing.
All right, ask me if you nerds want to.
No, you missed your chance. You missed your chance. No.
I don't care.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm joking. Go ahead.
If you nerds want to fight me or trash DCTVU or praise it, whatever, at Lilith Hellfire. If you want to talk Superman, Smallville, swearing, the good happy stuff, at Save Me Podcast, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram.
Save Me Podcast mentioned in the Teen Titans Go to the Movies movie. Yes, man. Yes, mein Führer. Anyway, for another week, because no one else will be, we are the Capes.
Ampersand.
The Lunatics.
Just like the Teen Titans, we're like the last one they'll make a movie of. Plus Rob Southgate, it's a documentary. And even he won't listen to this.
Don't say his name too many times. Remember what happened the last time?
Oh yeah, we were talking about him on a wait floor or something, and all of a sudden we just got a message popped up from
like you're canceled.
It's like Candyman.
Yes. He is the Beetlejuice of Southgate Media.
No, he's like the Stan Lee cameo. But we need some sort of inspirational message. Kids, ask your parents where babies come from.